that we passed about 10 miles from Casino, near a crossroad, and we passed a sort of a patch of land right on that crossroad within gun range of the Casino German guns, but yet a very busy intersection of all the troops leading to the front. It was getting very close to Passover, and the chaplain that I was driving, Rabbi Berman, Major Berman at the time, and I all of a sudden got a great idea, being to conduct a Seder right there on that crossroad leading to Mount Casino, and to serve all the frontline troops at the time that would get an evening off to go to celebrate the Passover. As we began to work on it, the logistics of doing it was not a very easy thing. First of all, we had to get permission from the commander-in-chief to do such a thing, because the guns of the Germans could still reach that location. Secondly, we had to find the facilities to be able to hold the Seder in that corner. This was just a blank piece of land. Thirdly, we needed the matzahs and the kosher food and everything else that goes along with conducting a Passover Seder. We needed the Haggadot and all the other paraphernalia needed for that. And, of course, last, we needed the customers. We needed the troops to be notified that a Passover Seder will be held in that corner. We started from A to go to Z, and of course the first thing we got was permission from the commander-in-chief by going to the chief chaplain of the headquarters of the 8th Army, with whom we tented together not very far from there, a certain colonel, and he went and saw General Montgomery, and we got permission to hold the Seder in that corner. Then we sought out and found a Palestinian unit that was in the Corps of Engineers, and we got them to pitch a big, huge tent that will accommodate approximately 400 or 500 people. We then got permission from the Army to bring in benches and tables and to cover them with tablecloth so that it would look more like a Passover Seder. Then, at the same time, the logistics of getting food, Haggadot, and all the rest of the paraphernalia was started on. And the funniest thing happened, that we did receive from the quartermaster everything that we needed, with one exception, and that was the matzot, or matzahs, were imported not from Israel, not from the United States, but were ordered by the British quartermaster in his own naivety from the Jewish community in Tunis and Tripoli. And the matzot arrived in Italy just before the Seder, about 4 days before the Seder, and we opened up one box, and it was Schwarze Ineyegen, because these were matzot that were the North African matzot. They are about an inch thick. They are as hard as the hardest English biscuit. And, of course, we knew that no Israeli, or Palestinian, or English, or American soldier will ever use any such matzot. And we were panicking. However, as we say, we found that the Americans had received Manishevitz's matzahs from the United States, and they had a whole supply in Caserta. Caserta was a town about 100 miles away, which was about 30-40 miles north of Naples, and which used to be the palace of the old Italian kings. And we called the chief Jewish chaplain of the American Army, and we spoke to him, and I usually use the word we, and I really do mean we, because I was, even though I was only driving the Jewish chaplain, being in the company of the Jewish chaplain all the time, we used to discuss things together and make the decisions together, and I contributed my share. So we called the chief Jewish chaplain with Mark Clark's army, 5th Army, and he told us that they received